In today's digital age, when we all use many different applications and have multiple accounts, such as email accounts, social media accounts, gaming platforms, and so on, using the same username and password is certainly not recommended, primarily for security reasons. However, using a separate password and username for each account also creates a problem. If you try to remember all this data, there is a high chance that at some point, when you need it, you won't be able to recall which username or password you used, which will at best slow you down or completely prevent you from using the desired service. For these very reasons, using a password manager is almost essential today if you want to ensure quick and easy access to your online accounts, while at the same time protect them from unauthorized access by using different usernames and strong passwords. In this video, we will talk about one of the most popular and high-rated password manager by users, Bitwarden, which is free and open source. To use this password manager, you will first need to create your account. When you visit the official website, the link will be in the video description, and click on the Get Started Free button, you will first see options intended for business users. When you click on the Personal option in this section, you will get options intended for individual users. The first option in this section is free and offers all the key advantages of this password manager, so this option will be more than sufficient for most users. As you can see, there are also paid options that offer some additional benefits, such as integration of the password manager with authentication apps, the ability to add files, sharing option, and so on. Of course, choose the option that suits you best, but I will select the first option, free option, which, as we already mentioned, is quite sufficient for most users. When we click on Create Free Account button in this section, a new page will open, where you will need to enter your email address that will be used to create the account. Also, in this section, you will have the option to choose the server that will be used to store your data. You have the Bitwarden.com option, which is a server located in North America, and Bitwarden.eu, which is a server located in the region of the European Union. Also, in this section, you can check the option to receive tips and news related to the application and the services that Bitwarden offers in general. When we click on the Sign Up button, a verification email will arrive at the email address you entered. Open the email and click on the Verify Email button. When you do this, a new window will open in your main web browser, where you will get the option to define the master password that will be used for Bitwarden. The password must have at least 12 characters. When defining this password, it is recommended that the password be as complex as possible, a combination of letters, numbers, and characters, but at the same time easy for you to remember, so you don't forget it, because you will use it often, every time you use this password manager. Also, in this section you have Master Password Hint option. In this field, you can write yourself a reminder related to the password. That is, write something that will remind you of the logic you used when defining the password. After you define the password and reminder, by clicking on the Create Account button, your account will be created. The main advantage of this password manager is that you can use it in multiple ways. Namely, Bitwarden is available as an application for all leading desktop and mobile devices. You can use it on Windows, macOS, Linux, as well as on Android and iPhone. Also, the application is available as an extension for Firefox, Google Chrome, Edge, Safari, Opera, DuckDuckGo, Vivaldi, Brave, and Tor web browser. You can find links for the application as well as for the mentioned browser extensions in the video description. Now, we will show how Bitwarden works as an extension. I am currently using Firefox, so I will download the extension intended for this web browser. When we click on the Bitwarden icon, we will first need to enter the email we used to create the account and then enter the password. After you log in, you can manually add your accounts by clicking on the new login button and filling in the necessary data. Define the name, username, password, the website address, and click on the Save button. Also, besides adding accounts, when you click on the New button located in the upper right corner, you will get the option to choose what you want to add. Login credentials for a website, credit card, identity, note, secure shell key, or folder. Besides this manual data entry, Bitwarden provides the option to automatically save your username and password when logging in or creating an account. To show how this works, we will create a new account. After we enter username, email in this case, define the password and click on the Create Account button, Bitwarden will ask if we want to save this data. All we need to do is click on Save button and the username and password you used to create that account will be saved within your password manager. When we now click on the Bitwarden extension in the web browser, as you can see, we have the saved account that we just created. Of course, if you want to modify anything, for example, to change the name so you can immediately tell which web application it is at the first glance, you can do that by clicking on the three dots and then selecting the Edit option. In this section, you can also see and if necessary, change the email or password. If we now log out and click on the Sign In button, Bitwarden will automatically recognize that this is a website for which you have an account and will offer you the option to automatically fill in the required data, that is, username or email and password. Once your data is added to the application, whether you did it manually or automatically, signing in is essentially done with one click. The only password you need to remember is the password for unlocking the Bitwarden application. When it comes to configuring the application itself, there are a few things worth mentioning. When you click on the Bitwarden icon and then on Settings, you will see all the options available to you. If we click on the first option, Account Security, you will get the option to define Vault Timeout. This option essentially defines the locking time of the password manager, after how much time or after which event the locking will occur. If none of the offered options suits you, you can click on Custom and define the desired time yourself. Also, you can choose whether the application will lock after the given time or you will be logged out. In this section, you have the option to see connected devices, devices you logged into, to set up two-factor authentication, change password, and so on. If you plan to use this password manager to store all or most of your account data, it is recommended that you activate two-factor authentication to further secure your account. Also, since Bitwarden provides the option to automatically generate password for you when creating a new account, when you click on the Generator option, you will get the option to define how the password will be generated. In other words, how many characters you want the password to have, whether you want to use only letters, numbers, special characters, or some combination. The application offers similar settings for passphrase and username. Of course, you can always do everything manually. This is just an option that you can but don't have to use. If you click on Vault options, you will get the option to save data you have within the application in a file format, which can be encrypted or not, depending on your preferences. Of course, if you choose the encrypted option, you will need to define a password that will be used for unlocking. This option is useful if for any reason you want to change the password manager you are using. You can save the data in file format and then import that data into a new application. Also, if you previously used another application, Bitwarden provides you with the option to import data from that application by clicking on the import items and then selecting the file containing your data. You can leave any questions, suggestions, or ideas for future video content in the comments. Thanks to everyone who took the time to watch this video. I hope you find it useful or at least informative.